During an interaction on Beerus planet, Broly asks Goku and Vegeta who that warrior was, the one he had fought before joining the Z Warriors, who was so strong that he nearly killed him before being saved by his friend's intervention. At that moment, both reveal the truth to Broly, and he immediately asks them to bring that warrior back. After all the events on Planet Cereal, what will Vegeta's reaction be? Are you ready for what's about to happen this time? Frieza takes this opportunity to test his powers. So get ready, because today's video is packed with action and will deliver on expectations. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, activate the notification bell, and share the video with your friends. The great emperor of the universe truly wants to test his limits, and such power didn't scare him. It only gave him a sense of direction towards something greater. He knows who this warrior is because he has felt his presence before in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. In fact, it was Gogeta who stopped him from killing Broly's friends. But the question remains, how could Frieza possibly reach Beerus planet if no one ever revealed its location to him? That's where the twist comes in. In a way, Broly was responsible for all of this, and I'm going to tell you why. But let's be honest, with the little information we have on Black Frieza, what is his current limit? And what would be the only way for him to grow even stronger, if not by facing someone on his level? Could Beerus, Gogeta, Gohan, or even Broly be worthy opponents for him? Now, you might be asking, why not Goku and Vegeta? Well, both are at their current peak, yet they were no match for Frieza's black form. He took them down with a single blow, along with Gas, who had been overpowering Goku, Vegeta, and Granola, even as they fought together at their maximum power. Remember at the beginning when I asked how Vegeta would react? With Broly's request to find out who the warrior was that he fought back in the Super Broly movie, the one who nearly killed him. Well, let's dive into that. On Beerus planet, training was constant. Goku and Vegeta were always training, and now Broly was incorporated into their sessions. Recently, before the manga hiatus, both of them had sensed Gohan's devastating power. It wasn't much different from what he did in Resurrection F, where he raised his ki so Goku could sense it and teleport to him. They both felt this surge of power, prompting Goku to go after Gohan to test his current limits, with Broly watching the battle unfold. It was during this fight that Broly learned how to control his Berserker Super Saiyan form. He watched as Gohan displayed the process of removing his internal limiter, pushing himself to the very edge of his strength while maintaining his ki. That level of control was remarkable, wasn't it? Goku and Vegeta were in an endless pursuit of surpassing their limits, sharpening their skills under Whis' watchful eyes and Beerus' occasional disapproval. Broly, now part of their group, was gradually mastering his immense power. Once known for his uncontrollable rage, he was now showing impressive progress, channeling his energy more consciously. His time with Goku and Vegeta was changing him. He no longer saw combat as mere destruction. He wanted to understand the true meaning of strength. With the manga's return, we can now explore the only plausible way Frieza could have found Beerus planet, by sensing a powerful ki. We can assume that neither Goku's nor Gohan Beast's ki alone would have been enough to draw Frieza's attention, either because he didn't recognize it or was busy with something else at the time. But now he wants to test himself, and he is fully aware of his surroundings. This is the perfect moment to introduce Frieza back into the manga, not just as a brief appearance like in the Granola saga, but with a deeper plot that reveals his plans. And once again, the only way for Frieza to evolve further is through epic battles. I already mentioned earlier who could challenge him at this point, and now that Broly has calmed down, well, calm in Broly's terms, he probably wouldn't be a match for Frieza right now. During his current training, Broly recalled an opponent who left an unforgettable mark on his memory while watching Goku and Vegeta train. Gogeta. Alongside this memory was also Frieza. The tyrant's cruel and destructive smile haunted him like a ghost. Broly remembered fighting him under extreme circumstances, but he also knew something felt incomplete about that battle. Back then, he was driven by uncontrolled rage. Now, with a more centered mind, he wanted a rematch. This determination began shaping his training. But his curiosity wasn't about fighting Frieza again. It was about facing Gogeta. This awakened even more of his Saiyan instincts. So, he asked Goku and Vegeta to fuse again, saying this time he would fight them with more control, and wanted to test his limits. Meanwhile, somewhere in the vastness of space, Frieza was deep in his own training. His new form, Black Frieza, was a manifestation of power he himself could barely believe he had attained. After defeating Gas and humiliating Goku and Vegeta on Planet Cereal, Frieza was more confident than ever. His obsession with surpassing all known levels of power led him to a strategic isolation, where he refined his abilities with terrifying precision. It wasn't enough for him to be strong. He needed to be the strongest. But only a fusion of that magnitude could allow Frieza to sense their ki. However, it wasn't to challenge them. This time, he wasn't afraid. With Broly's clear request and a little help from Whis, possibly even threatening Vegeta to stop training them, Vegeta would undoubtedly give in. And he does. There would be no point in giving Frieza this much power without pushing him to his limit. This was the opportunity. Frieza was about to challenge none other than Beerus, the god of destruction, fully risking his own extinction this time. Frieza couldn't ignore the surge of powerful energies emanating from Beerus' planet. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly were giving off such an intense presence that it felt like it was shaking the balance of the universe itself. To Frieza, this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance. He would definitely smirk and say that leaving them alive wasn't a mistake after all. It was all part of his plan, to first locate Beerus, and then challenge him to become a god of destruction himself. A plausible possibility, don't you agree? He knew that this was his chance to reaffirm his superiority through the key signatures of Gogeta and Broly's battle. Frieza pinpointed their location and decided to take action. When Frieza arrived on Beerus' planet, the atmosphere changed instantly. His presence was overwhelming, a mix of arrogance and absolute power. He wasted no time. He made it clear that he wasn't there to fight just anyone who dared challenge him. He was there for Beerus, his chosen opponent. But that would come only after Broly's fight with Gogeta, which didn't last long. Frieza scoffed, saying he wouldn't waste time on such a minor power he had sensed, maintaining his usual arrogance. Now, you might think Goku would be the first to step up for battle, right? But no. Without any resentment, and simply eager to fight, Broly was the one who charged forward. This was the moment he had envisioned throughout all his training, to face his past demons and surpass them. The battle was brutal. Broly showcased how far he had come in controlling his power, but Frieza was no longer the same. His black form was so overwhelmingly strong that despite all of Broly's progress, he started getting overpowered. With his signature cold demeanor, Frieza exploited every flaw in Broly's defense. He wasn't just fighting to win, he was fighting to humiliate. Even with all his might, Broly was still not at Frieza's level. However, what was truly remarkable was Broly's resilience. Even though he was continuously knocked down, he got back up, driven by a fierce determination. This spirit began to catch the attention of Goku and Vegeta, who had been observing up until that moment. They knew that Frieza was not someone who would retreat without a true challenge. When Broly was finally incapacitated, Goku and Vegeta took action. They were aware of Frieza's power level and knew that, individually, it would be almost impossible to face him. Goku activated Ultra Instinct, his most refined and precise technique, while Vegeta embraced his Ultra Ego, a manifestation of brutal and aggressive power. The battle that followed was nothing short of monumental. Frieza was impressed, but not intimidated. He managed to withstand both of them, showing just how far he had come in his evolution. However, things took an unexpected turn. Frieza revealed his true reason for being there. He wanted to challenge Beerus. For Frieza, defeating a god of destruction was the peak of his ambition. He believed that if he achieved this victory, he would be recognized as the most powerful entity in the universe. Beerus, initially indifferent, began to show interest. He was used to being untouchable, but Frieza's confidence was intriguing. Goku and Vegeta, realizing the risk, decided they needed to give it their all. They performed the fusion, creating Gogeta. The emergence of Gogeta was like an explosion of pure energy. His presence was imposing, a perfect fusion of Goku and Vegeta's qualities. Now, we could just dive into the battle itself, but we can't ignore the current state of both warriors. After the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, a lot has happened. So let's review everything. Only then, maybe just maybe, we can reach a verdict on who would win, Gogeta or Black Frieza. Comment below your pick. Since the battle against Broly and the canonical creation of Gogeta in his Super Saiyan Blue form, Goku and Vegeta have undergone an intense journey of evolution. The fight with Broly was a turning point. Even though Gogeta demonstrated overwhelming power against the legendary warrior, both Goku and Vegeta realized that even greater challenges lay ahead, and more importantly, that their current level would not be enough to face truly cosmic forces. Broly had pushed them to think beyond traditional transformations. This became the trigger for them to seek improvements that would give each of them an even more unique sense of identity in battle. Goku, with his fighting spirit and insatiable curiosity, focused on mastering Ultra Instinct. This technique, taught by Whis and inspired by the way angels fight, is less of a transformation and more of a state of mind. By adopting absolute calm, Goku was able to react automatically to any threat without the interference of conscious thought. Initially, incomplete Ultra Instinct was something he could only access in extreme situations. However, through disciplined and continuous training with Whis, and even alongside the apprentice Angel Merus, Goku managed to make Ultra Instinct something more natural for him. His mastery evolved to the point of integrating it not just as an isolated technique, but as part of his base form, allowing him to use it in battle without needing to reach extreme peaks of power. While Goku followed a path of balance and serenity, Vegeta took a completely opposite route. He decided to explore Ultra Ego, a technique that came directly from his training with Beerus, the god of destruction. Ultra Ego represents the peak of Saiyan pride and destructive power. It allows Vegeta to use the damage he takes as fuel to increase his strength. This approach, which is risky and often self-destructive, reflects Vegeta's nature. A warrior who thrives in chaos and the intensity of combat, Vegeta not only accepted his role as a potential destroyer, but fully embraced his identity as a Saiyan, finding strength in the pride of his race and his determination to overcome any adversity. Their evolution did not come without sacrifices. The intense training forced them to face their own limitations and rethink strategies. Goku had to learn to moderate his tendency to rely on brute force, while Vegeta was forced to partially abandon his obsession with always competing directly with Goku. These changes not only made them more powerful, but also more effective as allies in battle. Now, imagine what happens when these two seemingly opposite states of power fuse into the figure of Gogeta. Fusion has always been a powerful tool, but the union of Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego represents a new level of complexity. Gogeta, by combining these two techniques, becomes the embodiment of balance between absolute calm and ruthless aggression. On one hand, he can react with the almost divine precision of Ultra Instinct, dodging attacks with a grace that defies the laws of physics. On the other, he can absorb the impact of powerful blows, transforming damage into raw energy and returning that force with devastating attacks. Thanks to Ultra Ego, the result is an entity that combines the best aspects of Goku and Vegeta, eliminating almost all the weaknesses they have individually. While Goku may hesitate in moments of doubt and Vegeta may be driven by his impulsiveness, Gogeta, at his new peak, is cold, calculated, and incredibly powerful. He has total control of the battlefield, instantly adapting to any situation while maintaining an offensive power that rivals even the gods. The divine power of Ultra Instinct fused with the destructive strength of Ultra Ego, creating an entity that transcends any known limit. The battle between Gogeta and Frieza would undoubtedly be of epic proportions. Frieza, with all his power, fought fiercely, but it was evident that Gogeta was on another level. Every move Gogeta made was calculated, every strike devastating. Frieza, for the first time in a long while, began to feel something he hadn't felt since his defeat on Namek: doubt. He realized that even with his black form, there was a limit to his power. Perhaps he was not yet at his peak, and, in a way, it was not the right time to face Beerus, especially if he wasn't even sure he could handle Gogeta. Still, he was stronger than ever, and the battle dragged on without a clear winner. It wasn't the right moment, and it wasn't the right place. Then Whis, intervening, removed Frieza from the battlefield, stating that it was not the proper time. Who knows? Maybe Whis had his own plans as well. With the fusion undone, Goku and Vegeta reflected on the battle. They knew Frieza was a constant threat, but they also knew that together, they could face any challenge. Broly, on the other hand, learned a valuable lesson. He realized that strength is not just raw power, but also control, strategy, and determination. Beerus, watching everything, showed a rare sign of respect. He acknowledged that, even as mortals, Goku, Vegeta, and even Broly were reaching levels that challenged the very rules of the universe. Whis, with his enigmatic smile, commented that this was only the beginning. After all, in the world of Dragon Ball, limits are always being broken, and new challenges are always lurking.